Hi everyone, my name is Sam. I am the owner of Comic Sam's Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how to make this candy corn bookmark. To do this, you will need 3 colors of crochet thread. You can do the traditional candy corn colors of white, orange, and yellow. Here I'm going to make a purple one, so the top color will be white, the middle color will be the dark purple, and the bottom color will be the light purple. If you wanted to do the traditional candy corn, it would be white, orange, and yellow in that order. You will also need a 2mm crochet hook, scissors, an embroidery needle, stitch markers if you want, and a little bit of polyfill. To start off, make a magic loop. I have a tutorial for how to do that in my shorts if you don't know how to do that already. And then the first round is going to be 6 single crochets into the magic loop with the white color or whatever you want your top color of the candy corn to be. Once you have your 6 single crochets done, you can put your stitch marker in the last stitch. That's where I place it. This is worked in continuous rounds, so you only really need 1 stitch marker. And I choose to place it at the end of the round. You can also place it in the first stitch of the round. It's whichever way you prefer. So tighten the magic loop. And then do another 6 stitches in round 2. So it's just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. And round 2 is done. For round 3, you are going to do an increase. So the first 2 rounds each had 6 stitches in them. The next round will have 9. So you're going to do an increase and then a single crochet and repeat that 3 times for a total of 9 stitches. Now that we are at the end of round 3, we are going to switch colors for round 4. So we'll be switching to the middle color. Now you can do this whichever way you prefer. I'm going to do it the way that I've been doing it recently, where you just take and pull that out and then insert your hook through the front loop and this loop down here. So you insert it like this. A lot of ends here. And then yarn over with the new color and pull through. And then you would just, I like securing it on a stitch before I tighten that down. So give me a second. Round 4 will have 9 stitches in it as well. So you're just going to do 1 stitch in each stitch all the way around. So 1. Once you have that secure, you can just take the end of the color that you were using for the first part and just pull it like this, and it's secure then. You can actually cut the yarn. And it won't come loose. And then, like I said, you will do 1 stitch in each stitch, or 1 single crochet in each stitch around, for a total of 9 stitches in round 4. And there we have round 4 done. For round 5, you're going to do another increase round. So you have 9 stitches currently, you'll be increasing it to 12. So you'll do an increase and then 2 single crochets and repeat that 3 times, so you'll have 12 stitches in total. At the end of round 5, will look like this. Round 6, you will do 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 12 stitches. At the end of round 6, you are going to change colors again. So again, you can do that in whatever way that you prefer. Personally, I am liking it this way. And I think I might film a tutorial for how to do that at some point, because it is really quite convenient, handy. It's my favorite method that I've tried so far. And then, so once you have your colors changed, you will do round 7. Round 7 is another increase round. You currently have 12 stitches around. You will get 15 in round 7. So you will do an increase and then 3 single crochets and repeat that 3 times for a total of 15 stitches. So we are done with round 7, starting to get that candy corn look to it. Round 8 will be 1 single crochet in each stitch around, so 15 single crochet stitches around. Now, round 9 is one final increase round, so you will end up with 18 single crochet stitches in this round. So you will do an increase and then 4 single crochets, and then repeat that 3 times for a total of 18 stitches. And there we go, round 9 done. We just have one more round, a decrease round, during which you'll want to stuff the candy corn. And then we'll add the string and the tassel. At this point, you can cut off the excess of the strings you have left. Just make sure that you don't cut the working yarn. As I stated, this last round is a decrease round, so round 9 had 18 stitches all the way around. This one in round 10, you're going to do a decrease in each stitch, so at the end you will have 9 stitches, and you'll want to stuff it about halfway through. I am now at about the halfway point, so I'm going to stuff the candy corn now. I start off by putting just a little bit in the tip of the candy corn, because if you try to stuff it all at once, I find that the tip tends to not get stuffed properly, and so it's not as evenly stuffed as the rest of it. So I just put a little bit in the tip, and then once I've got the tip to the firmness that I like, which this is pretty good, then I go ahead and stuff the rest. After we have it stuffed to the firmness that we just want to finish off round 10. Remember, because we stuffed it about halfway through. So we'll just want to continue with the decreased stitches until we get to the end of the round. And now we have our candy corn stuffed. So all we have left is to add the string and tassel and to close up this bottom hole. I prefer to close the hole after I add the string. That way I can make sure that it's secure. So to make the string, you are going to take a slip knot, and then I chain 70. It's about 10 inches long, but that very much depends. It's up to you how long you want the string to be. So if you want it to be longer or shorter, change the length of the chain, so chaining more or less, or change the tightness of your stitches. So at my tightness, I do about 70, and that's about 10 inches. Once you have chained the length that you want, cut your yarn with a little bit to spare so that you can weave your end in and make sure that it's secure. So just pull the end out and put it up through your embroidery needle. This is where you're going to start using your embroidery needle. So insert your embroidery needle through that opening in the bottom and out through a hole in the stitches in the same color as the string. So I do the string in the same color as the bottom color. So just pull that out and get it so the string is almost to the hole that you pulled it out of, or the chain is almost to the hole that you pulled it out of. And then you're just going to want to tie it to the stitch there, and this is just to make sure that it's not gonna fall out or come loose. So I tie it 3 times. I've found that that is more secure than doing it twice, but tie it 3 times. And then once you're done with securing it there, you are going to insert your hook or insert your embroidery needle into a hole and put it out through a stitch, out through a hole in the other side. Now, here's where I made a little bit of a mistake. Normally, I would leave that string so that once I'm done closing the hole with the string from the end of my work, I would be able to put it out through the same hole as the string from the chain, and then I could tie them together, and that increases the security and decreases the likelihood that they're gonna come out, come loose, stuff like that. However, I forgot that I had another string still to weave in there, so I cut it. Um, but to weave in the end for the hole at the bottom, you are just going to go in and out of the stitches like so. Once you are done, you are going to pull that string to tighten the hole so that it closes. And then again, just tie it to a stitch there to make sure that it's secure. It will look like this once it's been tied. And then you're going to insert your embroidery needle into the work again, and again, about halfway across on the other side, just put it out through a hole. And then you can cut it, or if you didn't accidentally cut the other one, you can tie them together and push them through the hole. Um, And again, that just makes it a little bit more secure, but you can also do it this way. It's just a little bit less secure. That's fine. But whether you tie them together or not, once you're done, just cut the ends, use your embroidery needle to push the end into the work to make sure that they're not sticking out, and then you've got your string attached to your bookmark, and you just have the tassel left. To make the tassel, you are going to need 6 strings of about 3 or 4 inches long. Often I do it in one solid color, but for the candy corn, I actually do them in all of the colors, so 2 of each color. If you have not seen, I do have a tutorial for adding the tassel. I'm going to go pretty quickly here because that's not the point of this video. But I do have a longer tutorial if you do not know how to add a tassel to crochet work. But very simply, take your hook, put it up through the last chain in the chain string, pull your strings through that hole until you make a loop, grab the ends from through the loop, and then pull the ends to tighten them. And there you go, you got your little tassel. Once the ends are tight, you're going to take your scissors and cut them so that they're all the same length and it looks nice and clean. Like this, nice straight edge, very clean. And there you go, you have your finished candy corn bookmark. I hope you enjoyed this pattern. If you did, feel free to give the video a like or my channel a follow. I do post patterns and tutorials on my YouTube every once in a while. The free written version of this pattern will be available on my blog. There's also a paid PDF version of the pattern available on my website, my Etsy, and my Ravelry, and all of my bookmark patterns are available on Ribbler as well.